Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Before I Do, the show that shares with you everything that should be done before saying I do. It is our responsibility and our honor to help guide you through conversations in regards to relationships and dating. And for those of you who are single, thinking about getting married, don't know if you want to get married, maybe you are engaged, you are tuned into the right place.
That's right. This is Before I Do. And this show is meant to be interactive. So yes, locate the chat area, the discussion area. We want to hear from you. If you have comments, questions, just anything you're inquiring about, we want to know. So definitely place your comments. Tonight's show is specifically special. It is a unique topic, all right? And it is called memes, right? The funny truth about relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can truth be funny?
Absolutely. Truth is always funny. When you look at comedians, as a matter of fact, it's not just the humor in what they're saying, but it's the truth that is involved in it. So the humor and funny is found all around us, and dating is no different. And memes have become a very popular way to communicate various messages through pictures and funny images. And so we wanted to utilize memes as a way to convey some very important, powerful messages that are found when it comes to dating. So
that's right. And so, tonight's show, we're going to use memes to really unpack some of the hidden messages and truths behind dating in 2022.
Absolutely.
All right. I remember there was this comment. I know you brought it to my attention. There was a gentleman out there that said, you don't want to do this. Like, you don't want to date. And what was the expression? You remember?
I'm trying to remember it, but
there was something. There was a guy who went viral, and I think he was warning guys like, "Look, you don't want to be out here." Like,
that was following the divorce of a very popular. Following a very popular divorce, right. And he was talking about what's out in the dating pool and all of the different things that come along with dating in this day and age, especially if you are displaced or haven't dated in a while. It is a whole new world, and I don't mean that as a Disney song, but it is a whole new world when it comes to dating.
That's right. He was encouraging there was a gentleman who was considering leaving his wife, and he was like, dude, don't do that. Like, you need to make it work, and that's true. If you're in a relationship, make it work. If it's healthy, we're able to grow past things. So do the work, put the work in.
Absolutely. So let's get into some of these memes. We can go ahead and start with our first one. So meme number one, again, these are some very powerful messages that can be found. So this is meme number one. It says, "Me, I'm going to stay single for a while and take time to heal." And then it says, "Me on Instagram 30 minutes later." So so when it comes to, again, this whole idea, you see it all the time on social media where people will, they'll fall in love and get angry. Somebody breaks their heart or something happens with the situation where they will swear off whatever gender that they prefer or genders that they prefer. And then, are back on social media again with what many will call thirst traps. And so this is really about self-awareness, self-esteem, and self-worth. Now, you do not necessarily need to, of course, be pursuing a relationship to put whatever you want to put on social media. It is absolutely, you're right. What we like to tell people is that social media is your news station. It is your not your news station, but it is your channel. And you can broadcast whatever it is that you would like to have on your channel at any time that you would like to. But we do need to be mindful of our messages. That's and right. What are we communicating to ourselves? And then what are we also sharing to the public and promoting also when it comes to what's in our minds? So
I mean, if we say that pretty much we're giving time to heal, and then 30 minutes later you on Instagram like, what's up? Hey, are you really giving yourself, are you really being, truthful about what you really need and or want in that moment? So if you want to heal, take your time to heal and to love on yourself in that season. So
it's about
a funny meme.
It's about dating or choosing not to date with intention. It is about being intentional with what it is that you are projecting and the messaging that you're communicating, and not allowing your insecurities, your indecisiveness, or anything to put anything out there that you do not want to put out there, knowing your limitations and also your boundaries.
Absolutely. So we're going to get into our second meme. All right. This one says, I'll let you do it one time.
All right. So after 3 months of dating, you tell her she doesn't have to order off the dollar menu anymore. # relationship goal. Won't he will, when you get delivered, when you move up in the world, and you've been dating for a little while, and now you can establish some trust, and you know what, you ain't got to order off the dollar menu no more.
First of all, I'm mad right now that the chick on the register, she's having a whole emotional moment right now. Like, she is literally happy for the lady, okay? And there's genuine joy in this lady's, mind, as she, is receiving this hug. But first of all, why I have to shop on the dollar menu? Why I'm on the dollar menu?
Because you're on probation. Because I got to see if you really with me for my money, or are you with me for me?
First of all, let me rewind this back. Dollar menu. What do you mean if you have to see if I'm with you for your money?
Absolutely. Yeah, you have to.
Clearly, do you have any? I'm on the dollar menu.
Just because you're on the dollar menu doesn't mean that I don't have it. Again, but it is, there are a lot of individuals who they will test the individual that they're involved with to see, well, are you with me for who I am? Should it matter where I take you? If you have to order off the dollar menu? So it does, again, it can speak to financial prudence when it comes to that. Not everybody, again, is going to start out first date going to a 4 or 5 star restaurant, because, from there, it may be no place to go but down.
Okay, so ladies, I have to ask the question. You go out on a date, and you go out on a date with a gentleman, and, he takes you to McDonald's, and, he tells you, hey, get anything you want, on the dollar menu. Like, how do you respond to that? Do you take it serious? Do you laugh it off? You're like, hey, it's not that serious. And, kind of go from there. But interesting meme, because I don't know how I would respond,
Well, that is a good question.
If I don't typically, access the dollar menu, or if I don't even really go to McDonald's like that. So
question for you, and also question for those of you that are listening right now: how important is the restaurant when it comes to the person that you're dating, especially on the first date or the second date? If they take you to a McDonald's, or they take you to someplace that isn't necessarily 3 or 4 star, is that a red flag? And if so, why? Why is that something that you would deem as a challenge with that individual?
Well, first of all, I will say, before you go on the first date, it's important to really talk about your interests, right? So me particularly, because I'm a pescatarian, there's not a lot of things at McDonald's that I eat. So that wouldn't be my first choice, not just because I'm bougie about McDonald's, but because there's not a lot of options for me. But I don't think that I expect a 4 or 5 star, restaurant, but it would be nice to go somewhere that we both mutually is a part of either our norm. It doesn't have to be those special occasion spots, but let's go somewhere that's at least a mid-level restaurant that both of us are norm. But if it's the person's norm to go and shop off the dollar menu, that's okay. But the question becomes, are they offended if there's nothing on the dollar menu that you're particularly into?
Well, I think for me, what it alludes to is this whole idea of the atmosphere as well, where, when you are taking someone, or when you're going out on a date, you do want to put on a good impression.
That's
you do
true.
Also want to create an atmosphere where you can have conversation and get to know that person. And so there are certain restaurants, like the one that was shown, that it's not necessarily conducive for discussions that are going to be discreet and set the atmosphere to really get to know someone. So,
but I will admit, this meme does remind me of you and I back when we were in college, and we didn't have no money. And you know what? We could have a $10 date in a minute, and we would just enjoy each other's company. But
I thought you was gonna say when I used to threaten to take you to the gas station when you wouldn't decide, when you had a hard time deciding on where you wanted to go to eat. It's like, all right, we're gonna go to the Amico. I know I'm dating myself. We're gonna go to the Amico. the Phillips 66 and get one of the microwave sandwiches if you don't, you know.
Not funny. All right, so we're gonna get into our third meme of the night. The funny truth about dating. First date, you see it. Second date, you see it.
Whoa.
This is an episode of The Fast and the Furious. Okay. Now, come on, some of y'all out there. Is this you? Tell the truth. I mean, first day, you make that connection. After that first day, you know it's on and popping. It's like, oh my gosh, I prayed. I asked the Lord, and he just sent exactly who I prayed for. This is it. And then by the second day, y'all almost engaged. What's up with that?
Yeah, so there is a book by Deborah Filletta, and it's called Love in Every Season. And it's understanding the 4 stages of a healthy relationship. And oftentimes, a lot of people get married based on how they experience someone in the spring and the summer. So she describes that the first season of a relationship is the spring. It's fresh, it's new, it's exciting, things are blooming, it's colorful, you may get some allergies, but it's all worth it because of the newness. Now, as you get into the summertime, that's when it gets hot.
Watch out.
That's usually when the physical intimacy starts to ramp up, when things start to, when you start exploring one another, and then...
Like, it's hot and sexy.
It's hot and sexy and steamy and sticky and all of those things that are uncomfortable for me to say right now. But then you move into the fall. And the fall is when, you know, the trees start shedding their leaves. And you start to, as you like to say, I love this expression.
Vulnerability.
This when you start to see past the representative and you really get into the character of the person that you're actually involved with. Charmaine, I love, says that when you meet someone, you don't necessarily meet that genuine person. You meet their representative. So for the first few months, they're playing the role. They're playing their part to make sure that they're putting on their best face. But as you get into the fall and they really begin to shed some of their leaves, now you begin to see some of the flaws, some of the challenges, some of the issues that they have, and that leads into the winter when it's cold. When you really, when the newness starts to wear off, when they start to get on your nerves, when them calling you isn't cute and sexy anymore, is aggravating you because they're popping up, and now the pet peeves and there are certain buttons that they're pushing that you do not like.
They started trying to kiss you in the mouth and they just woke up and the breath is like, whoa, right? Or they went in there and did number 2 and didn't spray the, you know, I'm just saying we're a little too comfortable now, right? And so you're starting to see the real deal. So that's winter, huh?
Absolutely. So it's important that before you consider a long-term relationship with someone, as far as with marrying, and even as we have talked about before, even cohabitating, that you've experienced them in all 4 seasons, not allowing yourself to make a decision based on how you've experienced them just in the spring and the summer. And
in all, honesty and just being funny, we, talk. I mentioned some funny things about winter, but those real winter months deal with trauma.
Right. That's right.
When they have somebody close to them that passes away, how do you show up for them, and how are they, right? Or when, there's some other traumatic areas in their life or just rough patches in your relationship, how do they show up? So winter isn't just, the funny petty things like how they put the toilet tissue on a toilet roll, but it's definitely those rough patches where, man, the honeymoon season is over and I see the raw, real, vulnerable, real deal.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's go into the next one. The funny truth about dating. Here we go. Number 4. When you discover your ex is dating that guy that they told you not to worry about. For real. Like, what about your friend? I thought you say he's just a friend. You said she was just your friend, your best friend, but like now y'all together. like together, all the way together. Like, what's up with that? Because nothing's funny about that.
Well, there are a couple of things though, because sometimes there can be individuals that you didn't necessarily see in an intimate way until time elapsed and or an opportunity presented itself. So it could genuinely be a situation to where this person, I didn't have feelings for them or I didn't see them that way, but because of the situation that I'm in right now, I see them now in a way that I haven't before, or it could be exactly what you said.
I'm sorry.
It could be exactly what you said.
Those of y'all with that intuition, that good intuition, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. You were the one in the relationship that was like, okay, she really your best friend? Yeah, y'all been knowing each other since y'all grew up together. Yeah. And you don't see her like that, right? But in your spirit, right? All up in your gut, you know that she in love with your man, right? Or this dude is like sitting there waiting, looking at his clock, waiting for you to clock out so he can clock in, right? And to that number one spot. So yeah, that meme, it might be funny, but it's a lot of truth in this one, because it's amazing when you had that in your gut, your intuition told you that this person is literally on standby. They are ready to go in as soon as I get out. Okay. So yeah. And I don't know if women tend to pick up on these kind of things a lot sooner, but it's very hard when you're dating a guy and he has a close female friend. Sometimes that can be kind of tough because one, I guess in our generation, we didn't see that a lot. The platonic friendships that were opposite sex. Now it is very much a normal thing. If you're dating in 2022, you can expect the person you're dating to have a opposite sex like best friend. Absolutely. So yeah, just having to set those boundaries and expectations.
But it also is important too that in that situation, if they're your ex, to not allow bitterness to set in, because obviously you two have moved on, and so even in a situation like this, you want to be careful that you don't allow this to taint your ability to be able to move on in your date life and interacting with others. Now, obviously, you want to use it as a learning lesson.
Yes.
But the challenge is in situations like this, there have been individuals who have allowed that to get into stalking and being angry and where it becomes counterproductive to the person they want to become or the relationships that they want to see themselves in. And so you don't want to allow yourself to get to that place.
All right. The next one is one of my favorites. I'm not going to lie. I love this meme. Here we go, y'all. Number 5.
When they say they love all your flaws and you weren't aware you had any. Yes, I know some people like that.
Yes. I mean, have we not all been there? It's like, I love all of your flaws, and it's all fun and games. It's all fun and games until, you realize they got a whole list of like 30 of your flaws. And you're like, wait a minute. I just knew I was that person that, I didn't really have that many. So I'm sorry, but this cat is like loving, I'm like loving his whole life right now, because this is absolutely the look that, I think that we have on the inside parts when we're like, when they say they love all your flaws and then you weren't aware that you had any. For real.
Well, it's also too a challenge for us to be able, as we get to know someone, to trust with the being vulnerable and the fact that, we're none of us are perfect and we all have flaws.
This is true.
And so, being willing to receive and be open to how people experience us and respecting that tact and that honesty and allowing it to serve as a way to help make us better, especially when it comes to relationships. There are, and because I thought about this, there are so many people that they will get in a relationship and the relationship will end and they don't necessarily get feedback on, the things that they were doing wrong, the things that might have made them an undesirable partner,
That's
the things
right.
and they're going from relationship to relationship to relationship, and nobody cares enough to be honest with them about you have this issue and it is really a challenge.
Yeah.
And usually what happens is it takes one person to do that, and then everybody changes it. Yeah, I had the same problem with him. Or I had the same problem with her. But again, it's being able to have those courageous conversations, to be honest, and also to be open about how people experience us is how we grow.
Absolutely. And you're right. There's clearly a block in this meme. If you don't know that you have any flaws, if you weren't aware, is it because you choose to be, in denial? Or is it because literally people have missed opportunities to really impart the gift of feedback in your life? So very, very, very important. All right. This is Before I Do, and we're going to take a brief commercial break, and we'll be back.
Welcome to the Couples Academy app. The Couples Academy app is your go-to hub for how to do marriage right. Get started with our app today by perusing our amazing features that conveniently allow you to connect. This app is packed with powerful content and resources to help you grow and stay connected. With this app, you can watch our messages, find marriage resources, watch, listen, and read the real-life stories of restored couples, sign up for events, read articles and blog posts, stay up to date with push notifications, share your favorite messages via Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or email, and download messages for offline listening. For more information about the Couples Academy app, go to couplesacademy.org.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Before I Do. We are talking about memes, the funny
truth
behind dating. And so we've covered our first 5. And so we are going to go into our second 5. And this next one is one that is really important when you're dating. So,
all right, number 6. It says, that tingly feeling you get when you like someone. Yeah, that's common sense leaving your body. Yes. So we want to make sure, all right, you don't want this to be you, okay? So that tingly feeling, is it common sense leaving your body? And our famous character, all right, from our childhood show, Miss Olivia Boss Lady. All right, so is that true? Is truth can be funny and truth can be ugly and truth is definitely true. And so when you get that tingly feeling, is that common sense leaving your body when you're in a relationship and you're dating someone?
I think it can be, and so it's very important that this is a great opportunity for you to really employ your village.
Okay.
To make sure that you have trusted individuals around you, that as you are getting to know someone, and especially when you're considering taking serious next steps with that person, to really have someone to help you vet them.
Okay.
Because when you're in a relationship with someone and you really like them, there may be some things that you don't see. You may be in a season where even as you're going into the fall, that there may be some things that you do not see. So part of the reason why the village and why that support group is so important is because they'll be able to pick up and see some things that you may not necessarily see because they have an objective eye. They are not directly involved with that individual. So it's really important to make sure that you have trusted confidants to assist you with assessment when it comes to your relationships.
I will admit, though, I'm sorry, when you are in that honeymoon phase, you are smitten. I mean, you are loving the things about this person. There is an excitement about getting to know someone. And so we often use this expression common sense, but common sense is not common, right? Our culture plays a big role in how we process things, how we process new experiences with new people. And so, you make a very big valid point about the power of your village. There are people in your life that they will tell you the truth, and you really want to really value them in those moments, because it's easy to feel like, well, they just don't want me to be happy, or they love me, but they don't love me in relationships. So they just really hating on me and they just, throwing shade. So
Yeah, and it is also too a reminder to be careful not to forsake your principles, your values, and your standards when you do start to feel yourself falling for someone. When you do sense a really strong connection that you're building with this person, how do they align and how do they help you in maintaining your principles and your values and your standards?
And they shouldn't want you to.
Absolutely.
They should encourage you to stand strong and to stand for your standards. They shouldn't be slowly trying to weaken them, right? And to seeing where the loopholes are for their benefit. All right. And with that, we're going to go into our next meme, the funny truth about dating. Here we go.
All right. So I'm looking for someone that has long-term goals. I've been working on getting my driver's license back for 7 years. So, you got to make sure, be specific. You got to be clear. You got to be clear in your communication. And so hopefully that's just a joke. But, it sounds like, again, one person is communicating goal setting and another person is communicating recovery.
Exactly.
And something that is going to open a whole different line of questioning, because the first question is, well, what did you do till your license has been suspended that you haven't had it for the past 7 years?
Exactly. And the fact that seven biblical number. That's not the year of completion.
That's the number of completion.
So, first of all, I'm a little concerned that it's taking you 7 years, but you're right. I'm thinking of what was the cause of you losing your license? But I love that meme because it's about, you're on a blind date, right? And so while I do respect the fact that this person is transparent, dating can be one of those things where, it's awkward, it's uncomfortable. I can at least respect that this person is transparent enough to share something vulnerable about them like that. The challenge is he doesn't get it. Like, she like a dude with long-term goals, and literally you taking 7 years to get your driver's license has nothing to do with you being a go-getter and a person who accomplishes, long-term goals.
Yeah, it's kind of the opposite.
It is.
It's kind of the opposite of accomplishing long-term goals.
Pay attention, people. Pay attention. So. Yeah, you're not winning, buddy. You're not winning.
Yeah.
All right. Our next meme is number 8.
All right, so she followed me back on Instagram and accepted my friend request on Facebook. So I guess you could say things are getting pretty serious.
Stop it. Stop it.
So, but this is a testament potentially to the value that we place on social media. And when it comes to virtual reality, there's a high emphasis that's placed on our interactions. How many followers you have, how many likes did this post get, how many comments did I get on this particular. So there are individuals that do place high value on those things, but it's important to also get clarity when it comes to that. And I'm actually reading a book right now, and one of the chapter that I'm on is referring to perceived value and then like actual value. Okay. So, being able, for example, your business can be valuable, but can you sell it, or can you transpose that business into profit? So, for example, if let's say you have 1 million followers, what is the financial value of those 1 million followers?
Got it.
Can you transpose those 1 million followers into $1 million? How much can you, so again, it's the same thing, and it's the same issue oftentimes when it comes to the way that we value social media and the digital virtual world, and how that translates into the practical world that we walk and live in, as far as in this day and age. So,
well, I'm just gonna tell you the whole truth. When I look at this meme, okay, this is like, this is like, okay, See, you a little bit too. Things are getting pretty serious just because this person accepted your friend request. See, you got a little bit of that's kind of a little, I'm concerned. Like, if you think we're in a serious relationship just because I accepted your friend request, that's something tells me that, there might be some other issues that I might need to concern myself with, because you and I both know, like, you're missing some social cues here, because accepting a friend request and you thinking that we're in a serious relationship, yeah. So I'm just saying, people, beware. If you're out here in this dating industry and you accept somebody's friend request, even though I did have an experience like that once.
See, that's
I did accept somebody's friend request. You don't know them. They seem like they're pretty okay, and then they get all intense when they they wave at you on Messenger or something, and you're like, okay. One time I guess I gave him a thumbs up or something, and this guy went off on me like, oh my gosh, I typed words in the message and you couldn't even think to honor me and type words back. You're so small-minded in your thinking that you had to send an emoji back. I was like, unfriend immediately, because I'm sorry, you too extreme. Really?
Well, and also,
I don't even know you, and you're offended that I accepted your friend request, and because you messaged me and said, hello, how are you doing today? And I gave you a thumbs up emoji, like you somehow personally felt attacked.
And that's why it's important for us to have these conversations, because again, that shows you where that person's value may lie.
Absolutely.
And so whereas for you, it's like your value isn't necessarily there, and it's not, and to be clear, this is not about right or wrong.
Right.
This is about, again, just having clarity as it relates to what it is that you value. And so, what that mean, the truth behind it is there are some individuals,
that's right,
that they will take what they can get and run with it and make certain assumptions that for you actually points to them being delusional.
Absolutely. All right. And our next one, number 9. Oh my gosh.
Listen.
When you know he's going to hurt you, but you still want to try it to see where it goes.
Hey. I mean,
I don't even know if we can laugh off of this one, but this is kind of crazy. Okay. I mean, this is literally a situation where this person isn't a sheep in wolf's clothing, as our elders would say. Literally, this is a person who has chaos, you are not the one. On their billboard, like they announce it, they advertise it, not trying to hide it. And you still go into a relationship, you go into a dating situation with this individual when all of the signs are pointing to, no, you are not for me. And so this one, I actually hold this one true to my heart, because there are signs up front that compatibility, nope, it's not there. You're not going where I'm trying to go. It's hard for us to even have a conversation. It seems like, the sound of my voice irritates you. Like there are things that lead up, to really you asking yourself, is this person going to hurt me? I think they will, but I'm still going to go and see where it goes. No, don't play Russian roulette with your time, with your energy, with your space, with your heart. Yeah, even with your spirit, right? Because you don't want to get connected to a person, or those trauma bonds happen. You get with a person who they may not necessarily seem like death or the grim reaper, but all of the situations they're attached to, the connections, and maybe they have so much turmoil in their life, that is the very thing that can hurt you. You being connected to them and them being connected to drama and turmoil can lead you to death.
And this can also point to the savior complex that can be found in a lot of people, where you
better say that again.
Where you get into a relationship with someone, you see all of the challenges that they have, you see the red flags, but you still move forward with it because you believe that you can help them, and
you can
they
heal
just
them.
Had someone that understood them, and if they just had someone that walked through with them. And we're actually going to, in the future, just so you know, this is one of the shows that we're going to be talking about, is have you been assigned to that individual? Have you been assigned to that person's life to walk through with them what it is that they are dealing with? And not everyone is, and that is okay. Know that you are not necessarily assigned to everyone to walk with them as it relates to the issues and the challenges that they have. There are going to be certain individuals that may, but it's important to know exactly what your role is, and that when your season comes potentially to step away, to be okay with that if you are not that person.
And again, we're talking about the funny truth about dating. In all comedy, it might be funny and we laugh and they're generalizations, but there is always truth at the core, right? And so our last and final meme of the night, the funny truth about dating is as follows. I love this one. Now, come on now. Y'all better tell the truth. Is this you in a relationship? Okay. I mean, extreme you.
Can I be honest?
Well, you better testify.
Can I be honest?
Yes, testify.
So I'm that person that left that message for Brian. That's me. I'm not. I'm ashamed.
Amen.
But I'm gonna speak the truth. I do not play about because I come from the era of when you get your mouth ready for something. That's the era that when you get your mouth ready for something.
I want you to look right there in that camera, and I want you to tell the truth.
Everyone,
tell them.
My name is Walter Jennings, and when it comes to food, I am selfish. When it comes to things, I can be selfish, but it is again we're laughing and we're joking, but it is again a part of boundaries, a part of expectation and understanding your partner, and also understanding yourself. And so I have learned in my relationships that I do need to be more giving and to be more sharing and to be more like the couple on the left, and so it is. But again, it's a hilarious theme for me because I can relate to it and being that person where I may not go to the extreme of writing a message like that, but being super upset if I come in there and it's gone.
Let me tell you. Okay, truth be told, we shared some personal relationship. Truth be told, he would not write that message on his food. You know why, ladies and gentlemen? Because he hides his food. I would never know where it is to eat his food.
I hide my stuff. If I hide it well, that'll prevent you from stealing it. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. If you hide it well enough, you ain't got to worry about him stealing it. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Don't take that advice. Do not take that advice. Okay, I put my stuff. He used to get mad at me because he would always eat my food. How you don't want nobody eating your food, but he always go with my food to eat my food, right? And so I am the person. I won't write that note, but I do remember exactly how many shrimp I had in that container. Okay, how many kernels of rice.
Yes,
I remember every bite. Okay, because I strategically plan to enjoy every bite, and so I'll be like, did you eat my food? Did you go on my food? And he'd be like, oh, how she knew. It's like, because, I remember my portions. So that is so funny. So love this one. Again, in comedy, it's always wrapped around a percentage of truth, ladies and gentlemen. And so tonight, you want to go ahead and close us out?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, we are talking about tonight the funny truth, using memes, the funny truth about dating. And so hopefully you all enjoyed it. We're actually going to be coming back next week with the flip side of this as well. So be sure to like, share, subscribe. And also remember, we are your Couples Academy practitioners.
That's
so
right.
If you're in a relationship or if you're looking for coaching or counseling, then we would love to speak with you. Be sure to go to couplesacademy.org. Book us for a session.
Yes.
We'd love to speak with you. There are some amazing programs that the Couples Academy offers and some great services, and we'd love to have you come and be a part of it.
And at the very end of the month, we have Q&A, but you don't have to wait every week. We're waiting for your comments and information. But at the last Wednesday of the month, it is our Speak Now Q&A night. So make sure you text your questions to 678-200-8996. And that is our Speak Now Q&A night. Last Wednesday of the month. We are your Couples Academy practitioners. This is Before I Do, the show for those of you who are dating, engaged, thinking about getting married, not thinking about getting married. If you're married and you just want to do a wellness check-in, tune in every Wednesday night.
My name is Walter Jennings.
My name is Charmaine Jennings.
And thank you all so much for tuning in to Before I Do. We'll see you all next week.
All right.